Two, get a dog or a cat and put the water down. They don't drink it. There's something wrong with it. See, a dog or a cat, and this is the problem with Jimmy Jones. When they said Jimmy Jones and the people was drinking the Kool-Aid with the cyanide in it, and the cats and the dogs was dead, a dog would not drink straight Kool-Aid, less long Kool-Aid with cyanide in it, okay? If you take water out the tap and put it for a dog or a cat, they will walk around it. Not just so happen chlorine and fluorine is a gas. All gas move to a higher level. And so there's a period when the dog or the cat will come and drink the water. But I would say don't drink the still water unless you're on a fast, because the still water will rob your body of minerals. Don't drink mineral water, because mineral water is radioactive. But spring water is the water to drink. That's number one. The body's 97% liquid, and out of that is 85% water. Alzheimer's disease comes from lack of drinking water. The lower back problems we have come from lack of drinking water. Gallstones and kidney stones come from lack of drinking water. And then again, if someone come and told you to drink clean water, even if what they said was wrong, if it didn't do nothing for you, it's not going to do nothing against you. You have not put anything in your body that would create any type of problem. Number two, physical fitness. And we as African Americans have to stop looking at physical fitness as some game. We have to stop looking at it as some age, as some sex. Every black person, regardless of how old they are or how young they are, babies get there. They move around in the crib, they do their thing. And so we got drinking water, physical fitness, and sleep.
What's up, family? Juan J, Real Talk Commentary, paying tribute to the man, the voice, the legend, Dick Gregory. That's who you heard just now, Dick Gregory. His sunset date was on yesterday, the 19th of August. He's been dead 1 year now. And that was the voice of the late, the great, the one and only, the legend, and the icon. Again, Dick Gregory. It's amazing to me how Dick Gregory did so much for African Americans. He was probably one of the first black men to run for president. Dick ran for president in 1967 as a write-in vote. Got like 3 million votes. You don't hear much about that. Dick Gregory was very instrumental in the civil rights movement. You don't hear much about that. We know that Dick Gregory was a comedian, but Dick Gregory also was put drinking water on the map for us. The Caribbean diet. So Dick Gregory, and everybody who's ever seen Dick Gregory, whether in his comedy shows, whether in person, you knew that Dick Gregory did not spare the truth. As a matter of fact, Dick Gregory went so hard, some people couldn't take what he said. But for those who loved the truth, those who had an appreciation for the truth, when you heard Dick Gregory speak, when you saw his videos, you knew that Dick Gregory had did his research, and Dick Gregory pulled no punches, had no cut cards. So again, how Dick Gregory, a man who spanned at least 6 to 7 decades, I say from the 50s, 60s up until last year, who actually put Radio 1 and WOL on the map. I can recall Dick Gregory and Kathy Hughes on the radio back in the 80s. It was Dick Gregory, Kathy Hughes, then Bernie McCain would come after that. And this was before Kathy Hughes blew up. It was Dick Gregory and Kathy Hughes, okay? But nobody seems to talk about that. But I remember Dick Gregory, Bernie McCain, they were ones that put Radio 1 and WOL on the map. And Dick, like I said, we talk about his comedy, but you're talking about a conscious, cognitive brother who he died 1 year ago today. and nobody is saying nothing? Have you seen anything on the television, on the radio about Dick Gregory? Hell, when he died last year, did you hear anything or see anything about Dick Gregory that passed away last year? Anything? He came in. How does a man who ran for president get 3 million votes in 67, 68? Who has 6 decades of comedy in film, stand-up, who brought about the bohemian diet, who stressed water and exercise, and you did not hear nothing about Dick Gregory. So again, if nobody else will pay respect to our legends, to our icons, to our legends, icons, to our elders, then we have to. See, family, this is why we have to have our own stations. We have to have our own market. We have to have our own radio and television so we can tell our stories, our voices, our thoughts. We're not telling our stories. I mean, did anybody remember that Dick Gregory passed away on yesterday's date? Who I mean, did anybody, did you even hear anything on the radio or television about, we are remembering Dick Gregory? No, you didn't. And this is why I'm on the radio, I'm on social media right now, so we can tell our stories about the man, the legend, the icon, Barbara Dick Gregory. So, if anybody want to come in, anybody want to say something, you can share it. I'll bring it up. If you have any memories with Dick Gregory, I'll bring you in. I will bring you in, and you can talk about your encounter, your experience, your meeting, how he changed your life. But this is the time to reflect on Dick Gregory, because at the end of the day, family, if we don't talk about our own, nobody else will. If we don't respect our own, nobody else will. If we don't appreciate our own, nobody else will. And for us to even want others to appreciate ours says something wrong with us. Again, yesterday was the day that Dick Gregory passed away. Dick Gregory, give you a little history on Dick Gregory. Does anybody have a little story on Dick Gregory? I'll bring you in right now. You can say, I'll bring you in. Don't be afraid. This is the time for you to share your thoughts about Dick Gregory, what Dick Gregory was to you. I know Dick Gregory to me was a walking encyclopedia. He had an answer. If he didn't have an answer, he would research it, and he would bring back information. I remember a video that Prince made just before he passed away about the chemtrails. And Prince basically said he was watching Dick Gregory. And Dick Gregory started talking about them chemtrails. And that inspired Prince to do research on them chemtrails. How they just putting those chemtrails all over the sky, and people's behavior is changing according to these chemtrails. And not long after Prince made that astounding statement, he was gone. So again, Dick Gregory, legend, comedian, author. He's got a couple of books. I got one of his books called "The Callous on My Soul." But Dick Gregory was just he got his other book, Nigger, the autobiography of Dick Gregory. Okay. Again, I just don't know how we, as Native African Americans, don't put no respect on our ancestors. I mean, again, I don't depend on CNN and Fox News or MSNBC, Channel 9, Channel 7, Channel 5, Channel 4, MPT, which is Maryland Public Television, uh, NPR, National Public Radio, the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company. I don't depend on these people to tell our stories. They are a vehicle, but we must summon the power, the strength to tell our own stories. That's why I keep telling y'all about that Real Talk piece. You need to support Real Talk. We need our own media 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Tell our stories, our voices, our people. Again, there's nowhere in the world that Dick Gregory should have passed in this lifetime, and nobody has said nothing, no mention about Dick Gregory at all. So again, I just wanted to come and put on record to the young ones that's after me. The old heads, we may not have much to say, but some of these young heads, these 20s, 25, 30, 35-year-olds who have probably never seen Dick Gregory, don't know nothing about him. You need to look it up, research Dick Gregory. He was a walking encyclopedia of information. Dick Gregory was a person who connected the dots, just if you just type in Dick Gregory's name in YouTube, and you would see just pull up any YouTube clip, and you will see he did not mince his words. He did not bite his tongue. Okay? So again, I wanted to pay me some respect to Dick Gregory. If you had something you want to share, you can. If not, I'm going to close out and come back in with paying my tribute to another legend, another icon, and that would be Marcus Mosiah Garvey, whose birthday was on August 17th of last week, which again, you knew nothing about that. There was no news, no media about Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was born in 1887. He would have been 131 years old on the 17th of August. One of the greatest minds in the 20th century that you know nothing about. And hopefully, when I make this next broadcast, I'll be able to shed some light on Marcus Garvey and encourage you to do some research, do some studying, and see that those that this country don't want to talk about, it's for a reason. It's for a reason. If they're not talking about Marcus Garveys, the Malcolms, the Fannie Lou Hamers, the Amos Wilsons, the Dr. Benns, the George Jacksons, the Dr. Clarks, the Reverend Ikes, people who can inspire you, empower you, enlighten you, encourage you. If they're not talking about these people, it's because they know that once you start doing the research, you're going to change your mind. And when you change your mind, you change your direction. And when you change your direction, you change your focus. And when you change your focus, you change your purpose. Okay? So again, I want to, pay respect to Baba Dick Gregory for what he stood for, truth. He would say every day at 12 o'clock, he prayed. He said, pray that the truth will be revealed. He encouraged everybody, no matter who you were, at 12 o'clock, midday or midnight if you were, pray. Pray what? Pray that the truth will be revealed. And I pray every day at 12 o'clock, no matter what I'm doing, that the truth will be revealed. And you know what's happening? Truth is being revealed. Okay? Again, thank you for tuning in. Remember this, it's not how much you know, it's how much you care. And I'll be back shortly to talk about Marcus Garvey. Peace.